our boy.
Oh, we're glazing.
Our boy Nicholas J. Fuentes was talking about, man. You guys know Nick Fuentes. We're not going to relitigate everything that's been happening to him. But what he's done is exposed a couple people, but in particular JD Vance. And I just want to pull up what because we can't explain it in depth like he did. But I just want to pull up and explain to you guys through this video, like, who JD Vance really is. So Nick does a great job at explaining that. And we'll play that for you now. Here we go.
Are you starting to see? JD Vance's superpower, says David Frum, the Jewish neocon. Peter Thiel paid for it. His superpower is his biographical credibility, his book, Hillbilly Elegy, which tells the story of a white working class guy who is down on his luck. Because that is the story that will curry favor and gain currency with the radical white men that are going to demand white identity politics. The young white men of this country are going to demand white identity politics. They're going to demand an anti-Israel position. They're going to demand a Christian regime. That's why they voted for Trump. That's why they voted for Trump in 24. The young white men are going to cry out for white identity politics that Tucker scorns. They're going to cry out for red pills, for truth about Israel's influence. They want America first.
I think it's just because we have the headphones on. We're going to continue here, folks.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll edit it out.
David Frum, the neocon, said that JD Vance is a spokesperson for global leadership. He will convince them. He will sell them on moderate republicanism. He will lead the party away from the excesses of Trump. Oh, but that didn't work because Trump won. Well, now he'll have to get in the belly of the beast and lead it from inside with his story. He's one of us. Now, we can be America first, Vance says, but we have to be global leaders. We have to arm Israel to counter Iran so we could fight a war with China. Don't listen to Nick Fuentes. He's crazy and hateful. Listen to JD Vance. JD Vance says it's time to give Israel missiles and bomb Iran so that you can fight a war with China, because he's a spokesperson for global leadership, and he will convince you to stay away from that toxic Trump, Nick Fuentes stuff because of his credibility as a disaffected white guy. That's it. That's what it is. How do we steer the population back into a new Cold War? How do we steer the population into supporting Israel in a way, in a world where they're rapidly losing credibility? Get a guy like Vance. Get a guy like Vance to imitate and echo back to you, to project back to you the grievances of the white working class while steering you into the agenda of the CIA and the DOD and Israel, which is a distinction without a difference. Do you get it now?
He loves saying that distinction without a difference.
I'm full groiper, dude.
But, like, here's the thing that nobody talks about on the conservative side. Literally, I remember when JD was running for his Senate seat in Ohio, which Peter Thiel, the Silicon Valley tech billionaire, who might be the Antichrist, wants us to merge with technology, literally put chips inside of us and be transhumanism, or be transhumans in the form of transhumanism. He put $10 million into JD Vance's Senate campaign against Tim Ryan, former representative for Ohio. And it was like a guaranteed win. He put so much money into it. This was supposed to be like an easy Republican win, but he had to put so much money into it that he barely won. Yeah. And in the advertisements, before everybody saw this nationally, in 2022, we saw it in Ohio, and they were saying, JD Vance, just don't. And they played the video of him saying, yeah, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. I think Donald Trump is a Nazi and a fascist, blah, 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 blah. But he will say anything to appease to people to make him appear to be this American first guy.
Yeah, that was my point that I was gonna make, was the fact that there's
he's
video,
a liar.
There's video of him out there saying that, you know, he's not a Trump guy. He'll never be a Trump guy. And now it's almost like we just put ourselves in this situation where we look at it and say, well, is he just saying whatever he needs to say to get into a position of power? Is he just saying, oh, well, maybe I am a Trump guy, just to get into a position of power? I mean,
I think so.
Truth be told, and what really sucks is watching a Nick Fuentes clip while also drinking beer makes you just think, man, I suck at this, because he's just so well-spoken, dude.
No, listen.
He's so great.
We could do it.
For sure. And that's the other part of it. And I don't want to sit here and glaze Nick, but also I really do want to get his message out there. I mean, it's eye-opening for a lot of people, and to be able to, you know, remove the censorship portion of everything, and clips of him that we've posted are being able to be posted on a normie platform.
It is the message.
It's great.
It is the message.
It really is.
Nick Fuentes, not that we talk about him every time on the show. We should just get into the The Tucker beef.
Might as well.
This
what
guy.
else are we gonna talk about? Fucking Burt Kreischer's intestines?
This guy, Nicholas J. Fuentes, like
this gay kid in his mother's basement in Chicago. Dude, exposed him.
Wow. I'm not going to play the
Exposed
clip
him.
again because I already did.
Yeah, no.
Wow, this guy.
Exposed him.
Probably the best political commentator of our generation.
I agree.
And our generation is still very, very young.
Well, what do we have? We have fucking him and then Dean Withers.
Harry Sisson.
And Harry Sisson. Like, who are just going to bow down to the left.
This guy is communicating not all, but most of the political opinions that I remember hearing older men in my family just rant about, like in the garage, away from everything, saying how they feel on the inside, but they never had the political counter with the political, I don't even know what the word is, capital, to be able to put these ideas into the mainstream. These ideas were always like, it was like a whisper campaign, okay?
Yeah.
Not even to say that they're racist or sexist or whatever, but it's just so insane that these ideas are finally getting like put into some sort of the mainstream, okay? Like Nick talks about race and he talks about IQ, he talks about religion, he talks about women, he talks about men. And it's all towards speaking to young men. And I think Jordan Peterson failed at this. And I think ultimately Andrew Tate didn't necessarily fail at this, but he's not technically like strictly American.
Yeah.
But he was speaking to young men globally. But in terms of a political movement, not even a campaign, just a political movement is what you could call America First with Nick Fuentes. Like, this guy is so well-spoken, so intelligent. They try to come for him, and no matter what, he just keeps pound away.
Right.
He's going.
Continues.
Uncancelable.
And that's the thing. Not to get into his backstory, because a lot of people who, if you're listening to this and you know who Nick is, I mean, you know the backstory, and it was simple that he was a Trump supporter, was about to work for the Daily Wire, started asking simple questions about Israel. And then was just told, no, that's anti-Semitic. And then you just kind of lean into it. And, it's the Streisand effect, and you continue to want to ask more questions. And then, you make it all the way to current day where he's, debanked and he has absolutely zero. I mean, other than Rumble and X, I mean, that's really the only places he's allowed to be on.
D-Live, Cozy TV.
Well, D-Live, yeah.
Stuff that you never heard about.
Right. All those stupid channels. And then you turn around and you go, all right, well, now we're in the year 2025. And Congress just voted 422 to 6 in favor of funding Israel. And you go, wow, there is not another issue that relates to Americans that we are in favor of 422 to 6. Not a single one.
No.
And then you turn around and you go, maybe there's a problem with foreign lobbies.
They are lockstep in this shit, dude.
Right. And then you just continue to go down that rabbit hole and you go, wow, there's a lot of people in our government that have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
And dual citizenship to Israel.
Too
many.
And
you go, well, how can you have dual citizenship to Israel and be America first? If you have dual loyalty to another state,
right?
Why can you sit here and say, no, this is in the best interest for Americans, when at heart, we don't know whether you are America first or Israel first.
And the problem, too, to even piggyback off that, do you remember there was a congressman who wore his IDF uniform that he served in? He wore his freaking IDF uniform that he served in on the floor of Congress for God knows what. And I try and have these conversations. I try and red pill family members or people that I know that are a little bit older, and they're retards, and they can't understand. And I say to them, if this was China, if this was Russia, if this was any other foreign country that had people that were dual citizens to these countries, and they served in our elected representatives, right? If they served in our Congress, you would have a problem with
100%.
that. You would say Chinese spy, Russian spy. They care about those countries more than they care about us. But because these dumb evangelicals, they feel the need to say, Israel now is the same Israel as it was in the Bible, which it's not real. This is a secular nation. This is a nation where it's a rule, it's a law to spit on Christians.
Yep.
They literally killed 3 Catholics in a Catholic church in Gaza, not just Palestinians that live there. Also, they view everybody else that's not Jewish as subhuman. You can look it up in the Talmud. I did. It is so insane to just contextualize the ways that people will wrap their minds around this topic and say, oh no, this is fine. You should be able to be a dual citizen of Israel and the United States and still be able to serve in our Congress, still be able to take AIPAC money, which is another thing. We don't have to relitigate that. We talk about it almost every time.
Every time.
Are you pulling up Randy Fine?
No, it's just something that came up. It's a Photoshop picture.
That is Randy Fine.
It is Randy Fine, but it's a Photoshop picture of Randy Fine. Go on my Twitter.
Okay.
I reposted a video of a preacher talking about this, and I want to play that because it's perfect when you just brought up the fact that they want to say that Israel.
So many of them
Bible
bro.
Israel, that one.
I've seen this. Okay, yeah. We'll play this.
That they say Bible Israel is the same as the current day Israel. Mind you, I would like to say that if you were to wear your IDF uniform right now, currently, with the famine and the slaughter of children going on in Gaza right now, the story, and I don't want to talk about Tucker Carlson because I've lost faith in him, but he did have someone on who talked about this child who came to get food and then was running away, and IDF soldiers were shooting at him, and he didn't make it home.
It's tragic.
Yeah, it is.
Let's play that. We're going to play that clip real quick from the pastor that you brought up.
Yeah.
The Bible does not say anywhere in the Bible to bless Israel, yet especially the modern-day nation of Israel. We had some visitors just last week that were down here for vacation, and that was one of their concerns, that the church that they're in is teaching political Zionism, and they're telling Christians that we have to support war in Iran, and they're teaching hatred as a commandment of man. Jesus said, blessed be the peacemakers. God is not a racist, and God doesn't approve of racism. This is so important, and many Christians have bought into this, and they want to hate every Arab or Palestinian because they believe they're going to be blessed being Israel's buddy, and any enemy of Israel must be my enemy. Folks, this is not in the Word of God, and frankly, it's shameful. Jesus said, blessed be the... Bible does not say any...
It's true, man.
It's very true.
Very true.
I just wanted him to make the point because it's a great point.
It is a great point.
And Bible Israel is not the same as current day Israel.
More Christians should know, and not just evangelicals too. I picked on them, but like Catholics too. I hear this from Catholics as well. I don't think it's fair that we can just have people blindly in our government and our American citizens because we're simply told that Israel is our greatest ally. Yet, what did they do for us?
Agreed.
We keep asking this.
We fund
Gen
our
Z,
military.
Gen Z and millennials, bro, we are lockstep in this shit.
And that's what I guess my other question is why do we fund their entire military, yet they fund our entire government? Like, isn't that insane?
Well, they don't. Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, they don't fund our government, but they give
they
all of our
contribute to political
campaigns.
campaigns.
They give all of our politicians money, is what I'm trying
It's
to say.
infuriating. I don't know where it started. I know when it started. It was like in the 60s. It was around the 60s when this started to happen, when JFK went to investigate the nuclear program that they had, and they lied about it. They actually hid the real nuclear program behind another wall, and stuff like that. But it is so crazy. It is so crazy to see all of this happening